New tonight on a rush hour, a fourth COVID vaccine is one step closer to distribution. In a unanimous vote today, the FDA Advisory Committee cleared the way for the Novavax two-dose vaccine for use after today's public hearing. If it does receive final approval, it could be distributed across the country later this week. Now, the vaccine was subjected to several hurdles. The approval last year after the FDA requested an additional trial. The Maryland-based company also ran into production problems, which they say have since been cleared up. So here to discuss the next possible COVID vaccine option is Dr. Anthony Harris, CEO and Medical Director at HFit Health. Dr. Harris, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Nichole, for having me.
All right, so we hear about this. We already have 3 approved vaccines. Does the U.S. need a 4th?
Sure. So the quick answer is, why not, right? But the prolonged answer is, it actually may make sense for certain individuals because of how the vaccine is manufactured. We all are familiar with the manufacturer of the existing vaccines, the mRNA to mRNA vaccines, as well as Johnson & Johnson's vaccine that is not mRNA, more classically manufactured through adenovirus. This particular manufacturing process for Novavax uses also some technology using actually moth cells that produce the spike protein in a way that may make it less immunogenic in terms of causing individuals to have a hypersensitivity to it. We saw hypersensitivity from a chemical called PEG, polyethylene glycol, which is a part of the mRNA vaccines. This vaccine doesn't have that. So it does make sense, and this is why there was a unanimous vote, to have something on the market that has 90% efficacy, but is manufactured differently. May open it up to more people.
Absolutely. Yeah, that certainly makes sense. And we also that Novavax, it doesn't require refrigeration. So is this maybe a more viable option to help keep costs low?
That's it. It doesn't require the deep cooling, if you would, for the mRNA vaccines or even for refrigeration at all. So it's very useful, obviously, here in the U.S. for certain populations, but certainly in third world countries where there still may not be available vaccines administration. And we know that that's going to help globally to help minimize the spread of new variants, because we'll decrease the number of people that are susceptible to vaccination. So again, positive news for us here in the U.S., having a potential 4th option, and positive news macroscopically as well.
Well, so Dr. Harris, you mentioned those variants. We know the vaccine is 90% effective in protecting people against COVID-19, but the data significantly lacks really how it performs against current variants. So is it possible that the vaccine may be less effective as more strains eventually emerge?
Yeah, so the data is not there, as you mentioned, for specifically how effective this is in the clinical trials. 40,000 individuals are part of this clinical study, but that was concluded prior to the emergence of Omicron. And so what the CMO, Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Philip Dubosky, has said is that, yes, there is efficacy for the Novavax vaccine against Omicron, but it is lower than what they saw with the Delta variant and the predecessor, the variant Beta and Alpha out of Wuhan. So that's not too terribly unlike what we saw with the mRNA vaccine being less efficacious against Omicron slightly. But a third boost of Novavax, against CMO has said, it boosts back up to 90%. So they'll be recommending a booster most likely.
All right. Before we let you go, we do want to talk about side effects, because lots of people really cite that as a reason they don't want to be vaccinated. And last week, the FDA released a document suggesting the vaccine may cause a rare swelling of the heart. Should we be concerned?
So we should be concerned, but we should not be more concerned than what we saw with previous vaccines. And here's why. Because the data has showed in the 40,000 individuals that were a part of this clinical study, 4, and they were all young men, experienced swelling of the heart, myocarditis it's called. And that risk is similar to what we saw with mRNA vaccines as well as Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And the key comes down to what's causing potentially that mechanism for inflammation in the heart? And the answer is the spike protein. So this does have spike protein, albeit manufactured outside the body, as opposed to the mRNA vaccines that allow your body to create it internally. It's still introducing the spike protein, which may cause a response, an immunogenetic response that causes the heart inflammation. So,
but 4 out of 40,000. All right. So I would say that is rare. Dr. Anthony Harris, we thank you so much. Well, still, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.